Liars! Sisterworld! Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to do an album review here, Liars, Sisterworld. Liars are an experimental rock trio who... it's a little difficult to say, mostly because on every single one of their LPs, and this is their 5th album, they change their sound, they change their direction just enough to make each album feel like its own little adventure. And on this particular LP, Sisterworld, the band takes a really simple, straightforward, minimalist, almost punk kind of approach toward making really eerie and ominous music. This album is never too skeletal, and yet it's never overly technical or all that intricate either. Pulling this thing apart and sort of seeing how it works, seeing what makes it tick, is kind of simple, but that doesn't make it any less uneasy. It's a stranger and a more defining step away from their 2007 self-titled LP, and I say defining because few bands would dare to step in such an unsettling direction with their music. Points on this album are really squirm-worthy, kind of like a David Lynch film. And I mention David Lynch because this thing is constantly building tension. There are a few moments where there are some explosions or some climaxes, but for the most part it takes this pressure and makes it really palatable because of the straightforward song structures, the really great production, the fantastic sounds. The thing is, on this album, Liars sound like a rock band. They sound like a rock band. There's some normality there and there's some familiarity there, and that keeps you kind of invested in the album. But then again, there's this really alien quality to it too, something that kind of feels like a stalker walking down a dark alleyway with a knife, and the knife is sharp and you're afraid of the knife going into your back. I think my one gripe about this LP is that it lays on that mood a little too long. It's executed well, but it relies on it just a little too much, to the point where it kind of loses its thrill to me, and I'm no longer affected by it. But if that tension doesn't wear on you, I still have to warn, this thing isn't as easy a listen as 2007's Liars or even Drum's Not Dead. This thing is more like looking into a dark, tormented abyss, and you're kind of trying to look away, but you've always got one eye peeled because you just kind of want to keep an eye on it because you don't know what's going to happen with that thing because it looks pretty frickin' screwed up. But I can't say I'm feeling more than a strong 6 on this one. Not because the LP is awful, and not because there are a lot of mistakes or just bad ideas. I would argue that everything on this album is 100% intentional. What I'm saying is that basically I'm not feeling the tension as much as some other people may, most likely. So because of the unease, naturally I'm going to have some mixed feelings, I guess you could say. However, if you're into music that is on the edge of its seat, just about to snap, then I want to tell you, don't hesitate to listen to this thing. Don't. Plus, the deluxe edition of this album comes with a remix disc. Yes, a disc of remixes and covers of every single song on this album. And some of the people remixing, some of the people covering involve Tom York of Radiohead, Devendra Banhart, Melvins, Atlas Sound, and that's just a few of them. And if you're into the sounds that bands like These Are Powers, No Age, Abe Vigoda, and Health are slinging on some of their new records, I think this is definitely worth some ear time for you. Liars, Sisterworld, Anthony Fantano, The Needle Drop. Album reviews, you're the best, and thank you for watching. Forever. And make sure you guys tell me what you think of the album too. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Why? Down there.